Alright, so I actually worked on the face cam for today's video as I thought, why not? And honestly, let me know in the comments if you guys like this. And you want to see more of my face in more of my videos. But hey, welcome guys, I'm going to be helping you out in double editing in today's video. On controller, I'm going to be going over the best binds to use for double editing, and I'm going to be going over some very simple tips that can actually double your editing speed when it comes to double editing, because I know a lot of you guys struggle with that, so don't worry, by the end of today's video, you're going to be a beast. The only catch is that you'll have to watch throughout the whole video and soak up all the tips if you actually do want to double your editing speed. So if you want to go ahead and double edit just like me, then make sure you watch until the end of today's video. Also, subscribe and like in the next 5 seconds or nothing will happen. I just appreciate it a lot, so go drop a like and subscribe if you want more console tips. Alrighty, so we're going to jump into the first sort of tips to help you actually improve your editing speed. Then later on in today's video, I'm going to be going over some best binds for your actual controller to make you into a better editor overall. But anyways, let's go ahead and start with some simple tips. So the first thing when it comes to actually double editing, everybody knows it usually is typically when you're running up a ramp and you have to go in for a double edit. Now, it can be easy to do the first edit, but you might find yourself scuffing up the second edit. As you can see, it goes a continuing line, and then you might get stuck on the second edit. Now, if you find yourself getting stuck on that second edit, I know the exact solution for you, and I'm going to go ahead and solve it for you right now. So when it comes to a ramp, a lot of people like to attack it going straight up the ramp just like so, and it can be quite difficult and not give you a lot of time in between each ramp. So as you all know, when it comes to physics, it actually works the same thing in Fortnite. So when I run up the ramp just like so, it's as fast as possible, as fast as I can get up there. However, if I go to diagonal, it takes me way longer to get up the ramp. Now, we're going to apply this law of physics to actually Fortnite, and now what this is going to mean is when you go ahead and attack your ramps, rather than running straight up and giving yourself minimum time, instead, you're going to be going across diagonally. So let's go ahead and try it now. You want to go ahead and start from the corner and run across, diagonally edit, then go ahead and go diagonal the other way, and just keep going diagonally each way. So this will give you more time between each edit, making sure that you're more successful overall. But let's say you're still stuck and you can't even get down the double edit if you are going diagonal just like so. So what you're going to want to go ahead and do is place 2 stairs, a floor and a pyramid, and do 2 stairs, a floor and a pyramid, 2 stairs, a floor and a pyramid, and you can still apply the diagonal theory to give yourself some more time in between. Now, I'm going pretty fast because I'm pretty good at controller, but if you guys still aren't that great, then don't worry, I want you guys to actually start out by going slow. Now, it might sound dumb, but just go ahead and actually attack this by walking at it. So what we want to go ahead and do is get this down by editing the first ramp, and then editing the second one, and then moving on, and then doing this step by step each time, giving yourself a bit of time to stop, switch to your pickaxe, and go back. Once you get this down, you can start to go for a bit more of a running pace at that 2 ramp speed, just like so, and eventually you'll be on your way in no time to getting onto that double edit. But what if I told you that that isn't the actual double edit that you guys are looking for if you want to actually become good at double editing? Well, now let's actually move on to the double edits that every single pro uses and how you can maximize it and get speedy at those. So we've been learning the single edit just like so, but 2 times speed. What you guys want to go ahead and do for the actual pro editing, all you have to do is place the exact same thing, but instead this time you're going to go ahead and edit 2 tiles and another 2 tiles just like so. So you're going to do the exact same tips as before, but instead now using the double edit and going quite slow when you're editing, because you just want to get down that muscle memory. So as you can see, I'm not doing too fast, and you just want to take that time to edit since you've got those 2 ramps in between as a spacer. Now, this next tip I'm going to be going over is super important, and this is that around 90% of all players play slumped over with a bad posture. When gaming, do you ever find yourself leaning back and stretching just like this? Now, this affected my performance until I switched over to a FlexiSpot gaming desk. Now, the FlexiSpot gaming desk is perfect as it has actually height adjustable, and you can move it up and down with different modes on the control panel that comes on the bottom of the desk. Now, all good gamers actually need to have good health. That's why you guys need to take advantage of the FlexiSpot gaming desk that is height adjustable, and you can move it to the exact height you want to play at, or even can stand at while gaming. Now, I know it sounds crazy, but I've been using this for over a week now, and this has led to me feeling better, therefore them playing better. With this desk, you can set different modes and presets that you can actually go ahead and use, such as standing up or sitting down positions that you find comfortable. People commonly pay around £200 for their desks, so you may as well upgrade yourself to a FlexiSpot gaming desk that supports all your needs and will make you a better editor. If you're always looking for that extra edge to help you game better, then I can't stress enough to go down to the description and click that link and go buy one for yourself. Now, why do pros actually use this double edit? Well, the reason is because you can actually now lead onto many high ground retakes after you do this. For example, you can go ahead and place 2 stairs just like so, jump across, and place a stair and a wall. So if you're looking to get better at Fortnite overall at building, then this can actually be a great way to actually learn just by doing this exact double edit and then doing some high ground retakes. Okay, great. Now, let's say you're starting to get good at the double edits where you edit both of the tiles just like so. I want you guys to now actually focus on looking at the between the edit. As you can see, there's this point here where you're practically hovering over both the tiles. Now, what the pros actually like to do is by actually having their cursor here, they can select it, and then as they walk up the ramp, they walk into the next edit. They edit, and then they hold down the select button, and then by walking forward when it comes up to the ramp, they automatically walk into the edit, and it edits the floor for them. Then, once you get to the pyramid, this is a bit more difficult, because a lot of people find themselves, when they get to around this point, they can sometimes get stuck. So roughly by the time you've edited the floor, you should be looking at around this sort of point when you go to edit the pyramid. And now, as you go to actually edit, what I want you guys to do as you're running up the ramp is start to just look down. Now, the reason why we go ahead and look down is because it actually prevents us from getting stuck on this edit here where you can't edit it because it's underneath you. So all you have to do is walk into the edit and now look down as you come through for that second pyramid. And boom, you're on the way to becoming a pro at double editing. Now, of course, it's really good to go ahead and learn double edits, but it's also really important to learn double resets. So what I want you guys to do is start practicing. After you've got everything before this nailed to a T, then I want you to start practicing this. Trust me, this will improve your editing speed overall so much you don't understand. So what you guys are going to go ahead and do is place a pyramid and a floor, edit the two, and then you want to go ahead and reset both of them. And then once you've done that, you can run across the pyramid and do the exact same thing once again. So all you have to do is just keep repeating these steps, and eventually you'll get good at resetting. Now, you can actually get really complicated with this, so just keep up with me and just hear me out for a second. What you guys are going to want to go ahead and do for this part here is by placing a stair, then you're going to place a pyramid and a floor, and you're going to go ahead and edit both of these, reset both of them, and then when you get to this stage, I want you to edit again the pyramid you're standing on, and then you can go up one stair and then do the exact same thing, reset, edit again, and do the exact same thing overall. This just means you're going for a bit of a triple edit now, so you're actually progressing onto a triple edit rather than a double edit, which will actually increase your speed way more than ever before. Now, some really great tips if you are actually using a controller to actually get less input delay, as I know on consoles sometimes it can be quite hard to actually get the edit down when you're lagging all over the place and it's not very precise. Now, these tips I've just learned in the previous few days, so they should be extremely fresh. So for any of my fans watching this, I've got you with some new tips. All you have to do is come over to your settings, and what you want to actually go ahead and do is turn off the build immediately, builder pro, and then you're going to get the edit whole time. You're going to turn that all the way down to 0. Then you're going to go ahead and apply it, and then back out of your settings. Then walk around for a second or two, and you'll probably feel it's quite laggy at the minute, but then you're going to go back into your settings, and then once you've done this, you want to turn back on builder pro build immediately, and then turn the edit whole time all the way up to the max. Even if you've got a single edit bind, still do this. Then you should notice that when you come out, it should be feeling way smoother than usual, and it feels way more responsive. But don't worry, there's one more thing we can actually do to increase the responsiveness. So then you're going to come back into your settings once again, guys. I know it's long, but trust me, it works out very well. Then you're going to come down here to the enable foot controller. Now, a lot of you guys may not understand what the foot controller is, but don't worry, just listen to me and do what I do. So you're guys going to go ahead and turn off the foot controller. If you already have it on, then just turn it off and apply that. Come out into your thing, and you should feel a noticeable difference. But don't worry, you're going to go ahead and walk around for just a couple seconds to let your game recognize that you're on not foot controller. Then you're going to go back into your settings, come all the way back down, and you guys already know what I'm going to do. You want to go ahead and turn back on foot controller and make sure everything dead zones is all on 1%. And then now you should feel your game feeling so much more responsive, and your double edits will feel so much better. Trust me. Now, before we actually get into some really great binds to help you double edit way faster on controller, I actually just want to show you guys, if you do play with a controller on PC, some real quick things you can actually do to make it way less responsive. And that simple thing is, it might even be available on console, I'm not 100% sure, but as you can see, you actually get the controller platform option. Now, I actually have an Xbox controller, as you can see here, but I actually use the generic option. Now, if you're on PC with a controller, I recommend you do this too, and actually always play with the generic option. For some reason, Fortnite have actually created this profile, and it actually has way less input delay than the other two models, because actually PS4 and Xbox controllers are actually different with different input delays, so the generic one is best for PC. Trust me, use it, you'll be blown. Now, we're actually going to go ahead and move into the section of binds in today's video, and I'll be going over and showing you the best binds to use on your controller. So this first one is going to be the best for you non-claw controller players that actually don't like to play claw and just like to play with a normal grip if you play on Xbox or PS4 or even Nintendo Switch. So what you guys are going to go ahead and do is actually run this left stick as edit. Now, what left stick usually does is usually you click it to sprint, but you can actually eliminate that problem by coming over to your thing and making sprint by default turned on as an option. Once you have that turned on, that allows you to free up the left stick to use as any button, because you will no longer be needing it to sprint. So that means you've got one free button that's always at use, because your finger's always going to be on it, controlling your character where it moves. So I would highly recommend you set left stick to edit if you don't like to play claw. Then I like to keep pretty much everything else the same, and you can actually use these. These are actually my controller binds myself. Okay, so for this next one, this is actually going to be for your PS4 players, and it's actually going to be if you like to use claw placement. So all you're going to do is come over to your settings, and now you all have the touchpad, and I want you guys to all change your touchpad to edit. I don't play PS4, but I know from all my friends that do, that touchpad is definitely the far best one to go for if you don't have anything binded to touchpad, as you don't. It's a free button, so definitely make sure to use touchpad as you're editing. Also, a real quick disclaimer, why we actually like to use single edit binds rather than holding down the circle or holding down B is because by holding it down, it takes us way longer to actually edit something, and it's just useless. So definitely throw that out and make sure to get a single edit bind if you don't have one of them already. Now, these next set of binds that can be used for any single controller, but these are actually settings that make you look like you're macroing on controller. As you can see, yes, I'm using a controller and it looks like I'm using a macro. Okay, so these settings are very simple and very abusive if you use them in the correct scenarios. Double editing is a breeze using these settings. So what you guys are going to go ahead and do is come all the way over to your settings, but you need to make sure before you do anything is that you need to make sure you have confirm edit on release. This means as soon as you select a build, it will edit it immediately without having to confirm it. Now, by doing that, it actually works with these secret settings. So what you need to do is have left stick as your switch mode, and then you're going to have B or circle as your editing bind, and then Y or triangle will actually be unbound because your pickaxe will now be bounded to down on the D-pad. But then coming over to your editing controls, you're actually going to have Y or triangle as your select button now. And now, of course, we don't need to actually confirm any edits because we got rid of that confirm feature with confirm edit on release. Now, this means that all we have to do is hit B and triangle or B and Y or whatever you like to call it. But instead, you can actually go ahead and just slide your finger across your controller and it will edit. Now, you can abuse this for double editing, of course, by just clicking these two buttons at the exact same time, and it'll look like you're macroing, and you can double edit like a beast. But honestly, guys, that's pretty much been it for today's video, and if you'd like to get better at editing or just aiming on controller, I'm always uploading best new controller settings and editing guides for controller. Then make sure to subscribe, because this is definitely the channel you want to subscribe to if you want to get better on console or controller. Also, guys, remember to like the video. I'd appreciate that a lot. I work super hard on these videos, and it really helps me out. Also, if you made it this far in today's video, then I'd appreciate that a lot, and make sure to go follow my Twitter and let me know that. Of course, that is linked in the description. But other than that, guys, honestly, I guess I will see you all in my next video. Peace out.